Hello everybody, this is War Story Video Blog. I am Alex, and here on the table several items of Russian soldiers and officers' edged weapon. Now I will tell you about models of weapon and when they had been put on the service. Some of them have marks with the year of production, and I can show you all these marks during the video. Let's start with Russian officer's navy Dagger. This is a classic Russian example in original and untouched condition. It has an interesting blade. There is a Russian Empire coat of arms at one side and a monogram of Nikolaus II on the other side. Both emblems are very detailed and qualitative. The etchings were made by acid and then finished by hand. Leather scabbard of the dirk doesn't have defects, even though it is over 100 years old. The second one is Private Order Shashka, Officer's Model 1909. Usually it has a monogram of Tsar Nikolaus II on the handle, but here we can see a monogram of previous Tsar Alexander III. It means the owner got his officer rank during the period when Alexander III was ruling the country. Therefore, we suppose when the officer ordered the shashka, he had a high rank. It is also in original condition without renovation and any interventions. And I found it in Germany a couple of months ago. Next Chotchkes Dragoons soldier model 1881. This one dated 1909. We can see a stamp with the maker and year of production on the blade and crossguard. Please pay attention to condition of this shashka. It looks almost the same as 100 years ago, when it was made. This condition is very good for this type of collection material. There are no rust on the blade, the scabbard is without defect. Brass details show no marks of use. Also, we can see matching numbers on the scabbard and the crossguard. It is very interesting and much better than there are no numbers or they are mismatching. Sometimes we can see regiments marks on a crossguard that can be deciphered to figure out in what battles a particular weapon took part. If it is interesting for you, I can highlight this subject next time. There is early bayonet for Mosin Nagant rifle attached to front part of the scabbard. You can see special rings for it here. Next item is Russian soldier's dagger, produced since 1907. It's called Beb in Russian. We can see 1917 year of production and producer mark Zlatoust on the blade. The same producer as on the previous shashka. 1917 is a year of Russian Revolution. This one is not really good condition, but all parts are original and the blade just a little bit polished. And part of original black paint still on the handle. This shashka is also 1909 model, but it was produced during short period of transitional government. We can see it because there is no Tsar monogram on the grip. The eagle on the blade doesn't have royal attributes such as crown and scepter. It is very rare shashka because it has been produced in very short period. Condition is good, there is no restorations or big defects. Next item is the original infantry sword model 1913. It is not in very good condition, but it's an original award for the bravery. It is proved by a sign on the crossguard, Russian letters "За храбрость." It means for the bravery. And Saint Anna's badge traces on the tip of the handle. In openings we can see legs of badge fixtures. It is a very common problem for awarded weapons of Tsar period. Because after 1917 some people removed Tsar awards from swords, shashkas and dirks. The blade is made in Germany at WKC manufacturer from Zolingen. They were imported in the Russian Empire before First World War. On the one side we can see etched Russian coat of arms. On the other side there is Nikolaus II monogram, it's classical etching. And look at that, nickel-plated blade still in good condition. It's really good. Scabbard is nickel-plated too, but a little bit dirty. I would prefer not to clean it, to keep the item in as found condition. And there is one extra stamp here on the crossguard on this side. Slava Moskva. In Russian, this is stamp of the Russian firm from Moscow who assembled this shashka. The last shashka of Tsar period is Russian Kazakh Shashka Model 1881. And this one produced in 1907. Now on your screens you can see the stamp with the year of production on the blade. It is also a very rare item. Unfortunately, original leather from scabbard is missing. And now we can see canvas cover. It is not so good, but all parts are original and the case were installed not nowadays. I suppose it was placed during that past times. And by the way, look at that blade. That's really huge, and this is a real weapon for the old school cavalry battles. Last two items on my table are two cavalry shashkas model 1927. It is very similar to example we have just seen, but all details have difference and they only look similar. This one is more early shashka. There are Soviet coat of arms and Russian letters SSSR, which means USSR, on the handle. It was made in 1937, 2 years before Second World War and Russian-Finnish War began. During that time, shashkas were made carefully and detailed. It also hasn't been touched or renovated. Here we can see a bayonet fixed on the front side of the scabbard. It means this one is soldiers. Shashkas without bayonet are for officers. Pay your attention to bayonet's differences. This one was produced during Tsar period. Another one with button is a graded bayonet, producing since 30 years. If you would like to buy a shashka of this type, pay your attention to screws. This one at the top of the grip and these several screws at the part of the scabbard. They have to look this way, a precise assembly made at a factory. Moreover, all details have inspection stamp in Cyrillic letters. Usually they are all matching on all parts of scabbard and grip. Besides, there is a chart of inspection stamps accordance with year of production. I will put accordance list with the years and with letters under the video for you. This cavalry shashka produced in hard war period in 1942. As you can see, this type is simplified and not detailed. There is no coat of arms on the handle, and some brass details were made from steel. But look at that, we still see inspection stamp on the all parts, on the handle and on the scabbard. A type without rings fixing bayonet is considered to be commander's type. This shashka in middle condition, but not so bad. It looks dirty and I have to clean it because it's not rusty or patina, it's just old oil. There is no accurate factory polished, and it's like German bayonets blades made from 1943 and 1944. I'd like this shashka because all letters are matching and it's in really nice condition is found. I haven't seen something similar in English-speaking YouTube and decide it might be interesting to you. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask them in comments. So, I tell you goodbye, subscribe to my channel, press a bell and see you in next videos.